I love BA, and what we've done has been pretty cool. And like I've said this before, I'm just thankful that I have and had the opportunity to play with him and throw him the ball and win games with him. It's been awesome. And we're at the time of year where obviously you don't know. Like as a player, it's obviously out of our control to sign guys and stuff. Like that's up to the front office and all that kind of stuff. But for me, I do trust John and Kyle in terms of getting guys who are going to make plays and be the right fit for our offense and everything. So my job as a quarterback is, trusting those guys to get the right guys and play and execute and win. And it's obviously it's a business as well. So you have ask and negotiations and all these kinds of things. So at the end of the day, BA has been a brother to me, and I want the best for him. And but we're at that time of year where negotiations happen and the business side of things kick in. So that's where I'm at with it, though.
What's your communication been like with him?
We shot each other some texts, just checking in, how's he doing, and then seeing him at the facility, and like the off-season-ish when he's coming in just to do like some rehab stuff. I've ran into him, but outside of that, it's I've told him I want the best for him and love for him. So that's really been about it. So.
Do you have plans to meet up with him and do maybe a throwing session with him and maybe the other receivers?
As of now, I'm just throwing with the guys that have reported, for phase 1 OTAs and throwing routes on there and stuff. And obviously I'm on a schedule with my throwing program being here. So if he wants to come, great. I'd love to throw to BA, obviously. But outside of that, don't really know. So.
How would you say you're developing as an actor?
As an actor? I think I still need some more classes or work for sure. But been trying to have fun with it. Obviously, I've partnered with some great companies and organizations, and so, whenever we have to shoot a commercial or something, I give it my all.
There's pictures that were out of you working out, and people were saying, Brock's looking jacked. What are your physical goals this offseason? Can you get stronger? Can you get more sudden? Can you get more explosive? What are you working on? What are your goals?
Yeah, I think obviously in the off season for me, you want to add some muscle and stuff, but just because it's a long season and realistically it can sort of wear off over time and stuff. So get strong, look good, feel good in terms of the explosiveness with both my arm and my legs, and then I think I've said it before, but like mobility, making sure that I'm staying mobile and flexible and whatnot. So those are the things that I sort of hone into this time of year, and obviously come season, that's what matters. Is being in the best shape possible for what is a marathon. To be able to run, make plays, throw the ball, stay in shape. I'm preparing for that right now. So
you'll be part of that Dwight Clark event next month. What does it mean for you to be up there with Steve Young and Alex Smith and Jeff Garcia to raise money for the Golden Heart Fund?
Yeah, what an honor, to even be able to go up and speak with those guys, like legends in this organization. And then obviously being a part of a special night to raise money, for such a great organization, and obviously to help out our alumni that have given everything that they've got for this organization. So being able to raise money to help them in their areas, it's a great cause. So if I was a 49er fan, I'd try to buy tickets and be there that night. So. Show up, baby.
Was it kind of strange at all when, before that happened, that you were thinking, wow, I'm not rehabbing right now, and I'm not doing it. You were on such a hamster wheel since you got here. To finally have that time off, what was that like?
Yeah, it was huge. I got married really a year since surgery. So, I got surgery March 10th. I got married March 9th. So, for me, it was like, all right, this is going to be a different kind of off season, and it's nice that I don't have to be on this schedule and regime of rehab, get healthy, and sort of stress about am I going to make it back for the season or not. So it's been nice to obviously marry Jenna, and then we sort of just have an off season to breathe and reflect on really the last 2 years, because it's been go. So for me, it's been really good just mentally and sort of having that hunger to come back and be ready to roll. So it's been good.
Jay York said that they anticipate down the line paying you a tremendous amount of money, far more than you're you're currently making now. Does that sort of stuff reach you at all? And how do you take that into account with everything that you need to take into account this offseason?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've said this time and time again, just in terms of taking it one day at a time. I'm trying to win this year and do everything I can for this organization this year. Everything else happens how it happens, but for me, I need to get better from last year, on the film and the things that I saw from, last year. My rookie year, it's like, man, I've got this thing in me where it's like I want to continue to master my craft, and that's that. And so it's a business, obviously, too. But for me, man, I love this game. I love just competing with these guys in this organization. I love this organization, and I want to continue to represent myself for them and in the right way. So that's where I'm at with that. Getting too caught up in all that kind of stuff is for me, that's nonsense. So, just taking it one day at a time and getting better.
Brock, how much of that have you done in terms of the last couple of months, going back and looking at last year, and what were the things that you saw that you said, I gotta get better at?
Yeah, I mean, just going back and watching the games and sort of seeing the themes of what pop up, and then when I go out in the field and like hammer away at the little details and the fundamentals, just with footwork and timing, my eyes, concepts, all of it. There's a lot of stuff that I think I can clean up and get better at for sure. So, coming back here, it's been great sitting down with the coaches and going over games and concepts, how I can continue to get better. And so, obviously, it's good that we have a lot of film to watch. Where my rookie year, you have 7 games or so, where it's like, these are the things that came up, but also you got to rehab and get your arm healthy. So now I can actually attack those things at practice and on the field, routes on air, all that kind of stuff. So I can sort of hone into trying to master my craft.
Brock, how did you feel about the Super Bowl and how you played, and when you watched the film, what were your takeaways from the game?
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's such a big game. Everything is magnified. Just every play can be the play. And so, going back, it's like, man, I could have done better here with my eyes or my feet and with this read and make that throw. There's a handful of plays. And so for me, it's like, dang, I could have been better. And I want to be like better next time we get in that position and be ready for those opportunities when they come. And that sort of sinks back to just what I said, just in terms of my fundamentals and the little details, man. If I could just do that in the big moment, then we make the right play and we get the first down, and then obviously whatever, time management, clock management, score, touchdowns, those things translate over. So that's where I'm at. When I watch it, I'm real about it. Obviously, wish you won the game, won the Super Bowl, and won the championship for this organization. But it happens, and for me, it's like, all right, I gotta learn from it, like truly learn from it, not like set the emotions and the feelings and stuff aside, like remember those, but let's be real about the film and get better from it. There's a lot of things that we can learn and grow from, so that's what comes to mind when I watch it.
Are you aware of how much your name is talked about this time of year in the draft? Teams, this is the next Brock Purdy, you're looking for the next Brock Purdy. This kind of under the radar quarterback could be the next Brock Purdy. Does that ever come across your radar? Do you hear from some of those, maybe projected third day quarterbacks about what you mean to them?
I mean, last year, I heard, people talking about the amount of quarterbacks drafted and all that kind of thing, and maybe I had an effect on that. I'm not really sure. That's really what's gotten to me. I haven't really had anybody really reach out and ask, hey, I'm a day 3 guy, how can I? It hasn't really been like that. Everyone's story and path is different, so to try to live out the same way that some other guy did, I don't think is right. For me, it's like, yeah, this guy got drafted last. There's some hope for sure, but I can't compare myself, and like everyone's got their own story, and so that's really all I've heard and how I look at it. But obviously, I'm a big believer, and it doesn't matter where you're drafted. It's what you do when you get there, with that opportunity. So that's my advice to guys that are drafted day 3 or undrafted guys or whoever. So.
When you talk about putting your emotions and feelings about the Super Bowl aside, being back in the building, do you find it's something you guys talk about, or learn from it, you move on, and you're just looking forward to next season?
Yeah, I think both. You go through such a long year. It's like a marathon with with these guys from camp, off-season stuff, all the way through preseason and then during the year. And you're playing football from, August till February. So, like, you go through a lot with these guys. And so you do have all these feelings and emotions. You put so much into it. You get to the final game, and then you come up short in overtime. And so for all of us, it's like, dang, like, in the moment, it's heartbreaking. But that's the nature of the sport that you play. At the end of the day, we all love this game, and we all have passion for it. But when we're watching the film and we want to get better, you have to put those things aside and watch it for what it is. What are the coaching points? What are your fundamentals that you have to sink back to and execute? So that's what I mean by talking about it. But when I see the guys in the locker room and stuff again, man, it's we've obviously been through some stuff together, but that's the love that you have. Like, we went to war together, and now we get to do it again now. So it gets you excited.
Brian, will you really pay attention to the draft? Will you be watching it? Will you be texting your teammates throughout?
Yeah, I'll be in tune to it for sure. Will I watch every single pick? I don't know, but we'll definitely be in tune to who we draft, and then just buddies from college or whoever in life get drafted. It's a pretty big thing for kids growing up that they get to see their name on TV, get drafted, and an opportunity to go live out their dream. So I think it's always it's a cool time of year for sure. So I'll be in tune.
Are you lobbying at all for guys that you noticed or that you know? Are you trying at all to influence the powers that be? Like, this guy would be pretty good to have.
I mean, for me, John, Kyle, this organization, they've done a good job with, picking guys that are right for our culture, our organization. So obviously I trust in whoever they get. And for me, it's like, whoever they do get, like, let's go. I'll be excited for it, ready to play some football with them and do what it takes to win. So, I mean, that's how I look at it. But, in terms of my input on the draft and stuff, nah.